To give you guys a quick tutorial about the connections on our directionals. So here's the quick tutorial about the connections and the cables that we have on the back of our directionals. In this case, we're looking at an ED3794 in red and blue in dual color. So these type of cables that you see in the back, the black one, the red one, the white one, the blue one, and the yellow one, you'll usually find them on dual color products in ECCO. They could be directionals. They could also be maybe a minibar. They could also be, for example, the 11 series. They could be also some of our beacons, not all of them, but some of our beacons that have this type of pattern in the back of these cables also have these functions. So basically it's a real quick tutorial so you can understand how to activate different types of patterns and also kind of work modes. If you can look at that way also. So here real quick on dual color models like this one, we're going to have these two cables. Okay, so the black one obviously goes to negative, like you can see here. I have it connected to power source here on the negative side. The dual color modules like this one, or directionals that we have, basically means that this whole module is going to change one color or change to the other color. So this one is red blue. So one cable basically controls patterns with the red color being the primary color, and then the white cable controls patterns with the blue being the primary color. Since this is red blue, this could be amber white, this could be like this one is red blue, this could be red white, this could be blue white, blue amber, depending on what model you guys buy from us. It could be, a combination of colors in this case. So since this is red blue, the red one's going to control the primary color, the red one, and the white cable is going to control the primary color, the blue color in this case. Each cable, we can activate it, and each cable is going to have basically a way to select a pattern. So here we're going to select patterns. You could go, whatever type of pattern you guys are comfortable with, or the customer is comfortable with. So in each cable, in the red one and the white one, we're going to have 36 patterns per each cable. Okay, so I could go through this 36 times, and we're going to find different patterns every time until I get to the first one. Quick tip: if you ever get lost between flash patterns and you want to get back, maybe to the first one, a great tip is you could use the blue wire, hold it on the negative for around 5 to 6 seconds, and that's going to activate the steady burn. So that the steady burn basically is our last flash pattern. So you could just start counting from there, 1, 2, 3. So it just depends, how you guys want to select your flash patterns. It's a quick tip for me anyway. It's really easy just to get back to that first flash pattern whenever you get lost and say, hey, I don't know which one I started out with, or where I'm at this time. And our charts for flash patterns, they tell you when it's maybe a single flash 75, or maybe it's a double flash 75, or it's a triple flash 75, or triple flash 150, quadruple. So it depends. Obviously, you could kind of understand it when looking at a directional, what flash pattern it is, but you could very easily just get lost and say, hey, I don't know where I left off. super quick tip. Just leave that blue wire connected to the negative, and you'll just get back to that steady burn. So it's easier for you guys to know where you left off. So you could program the red wire with whatever flash pattern you want. You could also program the white wire to whatever flash pattern you want. You could change this, but like I said, this is going to be your primary wire to look for that secondary color. So if I leave, for example, the blue wire connected to this negative, it's going to turn steady burn on that secondary color. So like I said, it's a great way just to get back, just to know what wire does what, how it starts. So if I start, selecting flash patterns, you're going to see instead of turning red, it's going to turn blue. I could do it again, and then we're going to have the combination of lights just like the other cable here. Okay. We could also connect these two wires. So the white one and the red one, you could connect it together, and we could get this to flash another mode. So that's why I'm saying you could maybe look at this to have like 3 work modes. You could have one work mode with the red wire, the secondary work mode with the white wire, and then the third work mode with these 2 wires connected together. So when you connect these 2 wires together, you're going to get those 69 flash patterns that we have on our data sheet. And if you don't want to be, going through, seeing how I can activate the blue one or the red one, things like that, you could just get these 2 together. Start off with that steady burn if you're lost in the flash patterns, just like this. Change to just keep going through all the flash patterns, and it's just going to be all 69 of them right here at your fingertips whenever you need them. Okay, so the blue wire, change flash patterns on the negative, just one touch, you can change all those flash patterns. If you want to have the dim function, we could do that also. With that blue wire, we just connect it straight to the red, to the positive. It could be 12 or 24 volts. Once you connect that directly to the positive, that's going to give you that dim function. So it's going to lower that intensity around 30%, 35%. So it's just going to give you that extra feature, that maybe it's just reserved for light bars. Sometimes these also have them. So just get that blue wire, put that directly into the positive, and you'll get that dim function also. Okay. And lastly, we have the yellow wire. So this yellow wire is going to be your synchronization wire. So that basically just means if you have 2 or more of these, you could get them to be flashing at the same time. It doesn't mean that it makes all the other modules flash the same way as the first module. So you're going to have to select every directional to have the same flash pattern, and if you want them to start at the same time, or activate maybe a wigwag, you're going to need to connect these yellow wires interconnected between all those modules so you can get that function. Okay, so here we have 2 modules connected, so we could see what type of flashes or flash patterns we could have with 2 or more directionals connected and synchronized. As you can see, I already put these on steady burn, so a little earlier in the video we saw that using the blue wire connected for more than 5 seconds to ground, that's going to give us the steady burn option. So that's basically our last flash pattern in the whole system. So from here, we could go ahead and start counting flash patterns. So this has 69 flash patterns. I have both the red and white wire connected to the 12 volt right here with my power source. Having these two together, that means these are going to have the 69 flash patterns all in a series. So we could go through, count them all, basically seeing what type of flash pattern the customer wants or needs. So right here we're going to leave it kind of simple, just going on the first flash patterns that we have in the system. So let's go ahead and change a flash pattern here. We'll go ahead and do this. So that's 1, that's 2. Okay, so 1 and 2, as you can see, you probably can't really notice the difference between 1 and 2. So let me go ahead and put this one on 1 so you can see what I mean. So this is going to be 1. So without synchronizing these, you might say this is exactly the same flash pattern. It is, basically. It is the same flash pattern, but the difference is that every flash pattern that we have, this is single flash 75, is going to have 2 phases. So this one I left in phase 1, and this one has phase 2 right now. So what does that mean? That if we synchronize these, this is going to activate the wigwag between multiple directionals. If you have, maybe 2 more of these on either side, maybe you have 6, and maybe this is the left side of your vehicle, this is the right side of your vehicle, and so you want that wigwag pattern. All flash patterns in ECCO are going to have those 2 phases. So it doesn't matter if it's just a single flash. You could go up to double flashes or triple flashes. It doesn't really matter also how the rate, if it's 75 flashes per minute or if it's 120 or 150. You're always going to find 2 phases on that flash pattern. Okay, so you can make this happen if that's what the customer is asking for, the wigwag. Okay, so it's pretty simple, but going through all those flash patterns, and maybe you're seeing that some of those flash patterns are always repeating. They're not really repeating. It's just because there's going to be one that's in one phase and one that's in another phase, like the ones that we're seeing here. So if you want to leave these to flash at the same time, we'd have to change this one. This one back to phase 1. So we could do that real quick. Remember, you want to reset. Just go ahead and hold that blue wire to negative. Reset it. Put it on 1. So this one's on 1 also. So when we synchronize, these are going to flash exactly at the same time, without falling out of synchronization. Okay. So maybe we could do a little test here. What happens if we use a flash pattern that's not exactly the same as the one we're seeing here? So let's do that real quick. We can go ahead and change this one maybe. Let's change this one to, so that's 2. Let's go to 3. So if we try to synchronize these, the only thing that's going to happen is that since this one's turning on 1 and this has a 1 phase also, the first phase is the one that's going to be turning on. Like I said in the other video, the yellow wire is just for synchronization. It's not going to make your modules or your directionals, all of them be on the same pattern. So we have to select the same pattern if we want these to light up at the same time, or in a way like that pattern, depending on what the customer is looking for. But if you do have 2 different types of flash patterns in the vehicle, maybe these are the side ones, and maybe these are the ones that are on the front and the back, and these are on the side, and you want to have it synchronized, they will synchronize, like you can see. So it's going to turn on 1, and the 2 is going to be on that blue color. Okay, you can make them synchronize, but they're not going to be in the same flash pattern because we didn't select them on the same flash pattern like we were supposed to. Okay, so take these off, obviously they're going to start doing whatever they want. So let's go ahead and put this one on that same flash pattern real quick. So that's 2, that's 3. So once we hit these, we're going to flash exactly at the same time. So we're flashing red at the same time and blue at the same time. Okay. Like I said, it's a single flash split between the two colors at 75 flashes per minute. Okay. So if we would want to make these be to have another color. When this one flashes blue, this one should flash red. We could do that also. We just have to put this one on that second phase. So as you can see, it's basically the same flash pattern. But once I put that in the second phase, it looks kind of the same. You synchronize these, and you can see when we flash blue, we flash red. When we flash blue, we're flashing red. So that's just kind of like the tutorial. So you guys can see that we have always 2 phases in our flash patterns, whether that's the single flash or the double flash or the triple flash or the quadruple flash. It doesn't really matter. There's always going to be 2 phases in there. Okay. So with these directionals, we have up to 69 flash patterns. Could be kind of easy to kind of get lost in the sequence. What flash pattern am I actually on? So if that happens, remember, we could reset real easily. Just hold that blue wire more than 5 seconds. Reset your directionals so you can start counting again. So if you like that, the flash pattern, the number 50, for example, and you want to start counting from with 1, and then just maybe you want that wigwag, so you put 1 on 50 and do a 1 on 51, and then you'll have that wigwag synchronizing, the multiple directionals you have. Maybe it's just 2, 4, 6, 8, depending. You can synchronize all those. So maybe having another kind of parentheses here. This is why maybe the ECCO Connect system is something that makes this job a lot easier. So instead of having all these cables, we're just gonna have a little connector here, connected to our harness. It connects to the SIB, and that's just gonna do all the flashes for you. And we don't really have to do all this work per module, per directional, to get them on the same flash pattern. Make sure they're all synced. So this is the traditional way, but we do have that ECCO Connect if you need it. So this was just a quick tutorial on how our directionals work and how to connect directionals.